Not only is our border czar MIA from the border, she's never been there, we now know she hasn't even spoken to either of the past two Border Patrol chiefs. Yeah, neither. But really, since the Biden policy is to keep the border open anyway, what would she possibly want to learn from the official charged with enforcing the border? Meanwhile, right at this moment, perhaps in anticipation of another Trump presidency, another caravan of as many as 2,000 migrants and growing is on its way to our southern border. Joining me now, Chris Clem, retired. They're all upstanding individuals, I'm sure. Future PhDs. Joining me now, Chris Clem, retired Yuma Sector Border Patrol Chief. Chris, they were chanting, we don't want Donald Trump. Does that tell you all you need to know?
It sure does. Yeah, and thank you for having me on, Laura. This is really a strategic problem for the administration. I mean, this is, whatever root cause that she was tasked to solve, that this clearly thumbs an eye in the administration. They've done nothing hemispherically with our partners in Mexico or Central America. If they can continue to rapidly organize like this, it's a strategic win for the open border propagandists that are going to sit there and bring their plight back to America. And, we've dealt with this before. 2,000, that's nothing. We've been catching 2,000 a day, the last few months, and we've dealt with 10,000 a day or more under this administration. So Border Patrol be prepared. But again, this is just more of the same 3.5 years. And here we go again.
Well, Congressman Seth Moulton tried to spin a Harris presidency. Watch this.
She's also her own person, and she's her own leader, and she can separate herself from policies where she may have disagreed with the president. Maybe she has a better idea for how we should secure our border, for example. She has now the opportunity to not just be in President Biden's shadow, but to present a new case to America.
Well, now, Chris, when she was Attorney General of California and as Senator from California, I don't think I ever heard her do anything except attack any encroachment upon the sanctuary status of the state of California. She is open borders all the way, but now we're led to believe she was holding back her criticism of the open border policy? Really? No leaks about how she was against it all these years? Come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I not only was the chief in Yuma, I was also a deputy chief in New Orleans, deputy chief in El Paso. And part of the job of being the number 2 in charge is counsel to the number 1 in charge, to the chief. So if you're the vice president, you're counsel to the president. You're overseeing the cabinet secretaries that are responsible for this. So they can spin it all they want. The president and the vice president are responsible for the 10 million people plus that have come in illegally, plus everything that's going on, the crime, everything associated with the border communities. They can spin it all they want. But the reality is the vice president and the president are in charge of the executive branch that oversee execution of all these policies. They could have done nothing. So many people have reported if they would have just left things alone, they wouldn't have had the crisis, and they could have worked on other issues. But they didn't. They went and did what they did best, and that's messed things up.
Yeah, well, that's their plan. They had a plan, and they followed it. Chris, thank you so much. All right, coming up, we've finally seen Joe Biden after 5 days. The video next.
Okay, guys, the argument that the left keeps making about the border crisis is that it is the right thing to do, that it is the moral thing to do, that they have the moral high ground, that they're trying to help others. Thing is, guys, it sounds good when you're saying it, when you're arguing for it, but you have, and this is what they have to realize, you have to balance motive with practicality, right? So let's just give it to them that maybe they have the right motive. Really, they're just trying to help others, okay? There's a lot of people on the left that do have that right motive, just trying to help others. But it's not practical, and that's where they are falling over themselves on this. The best example I can give is like you have a bunch of people packed together in a theater and there's a fire, right? Pushing people to everyone just get out, everyone crowd, run, go, get out as quick as you can. Sounds good because you want to save more people, right? You want to help others. But in the madness of everyone pushing and cramming, more people are going to die, and it's not a healthy system. Why? Because you're not balancing morality or your motive with practicality. So you want to get people out, but you want to do it in an orderly process, and that's exactly what the Republicans are trying to push, guys, is that, yeah, we want immigrants, yeah, we want people to come into this country, but we need to do it in the right way. We need to vet people, make sure that we're not bringing in criminals, right? Bring in people, yes, but do it the right way. We want to get people out of the theater, yes, but we need to have order in the crisis. Anyway, and that's the whole thing. It's a border crisis. It doesn't have to be a crisis the way it is. But anyway, Kamala something that Biden had handed her and said, hey, go fix the border crisis. And she hasn't done anything. She hasn't even been to the border. And her argument when said, hey, Kamala, have you been to the border? She's like, haven't been to Europe. How is that an argument? Like, what? When Trump goes and debates Kamala, it's going to... I think that Trump's going to blow her out of the water. But anyway. But also, they could blow up on him as well. There's a fine line in there. Anyway, Trump's going to hit her there on the border crisis for sure. So, leave your comment down below, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. Also, thanks for watching the video. We're going to be right back, guys, with another video on Jesse Watters' Prime Time, which is up at 7 o'clock Central. So tune in for that. And leave a like, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Appreciate everyone. I'll see y'all here in a little bit.